I am not the sharpest spoon in the bunch. Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Charlotte and today we are wrapping up the longest month of the year, January. January has left us, finally. Longest month of the year. I thought I started the year off with a banger. I thought this is going to be a great reading year. Little did I know that I just shot myself in the back because I've gone into a reading slump. I've tried and I've tried again. Can't really get anything to work. So that's going to be interesting. That is going to be very interesting going forward. I've read 7 or 8 books depending on how you see it. One of them is a full-on DNF. 2 of them are soft DNFs that we are going to get into when we get to them. But let's just start all the way at the beginning, which is Shield of Sparrows. I do have a reading vlog out on this book. I loved it. I had so much fun. We're not going to go fully into it because, like I said, I have a reading vlog out on it. But if you do enjoy romantasy, you do enjoy a witty FMC, because I found her to be kind of hilarious. I felt like she had a lot of irony about herself. She's also very okay, I'm in this situation. We're going to make the best of it. I am going to do my best to just survive, basically. It's not fae, it's not riding dragons or wolves and stuff like that. This is more survival of the fittest. But I do have to say, I really, really enjoyed it. Now, if you are really into the bonding and talking to animals or wolves, stuff like that, I don't really know if this is going to be up your alley, but I enjoyed it so much. I actually ended up giving it a 4.75, and I have a reason for not giving it a 5-star, but you can watch the reading vlog and figure out exactly why it wasn't a full-on 5-star in that one. You can click it. I mean, I'll be here when you get back. So then I went over to People We Meet on Vacation, which is an Emily Henry book that also had a movie coming out in January on Netflix that is also called People We Meet on Vacation. I decided that I was going to read the book and then watch the movie, and I do also have a reading vlog out on that one if you do want to go and watch that. I have to say, me and Emily Henry, we don't really vibe. I've read one Emily Henry book before. I didn't really enjoy it. I read this one. It was okay. I liked it more than I liked Beach Read, but it wasn't, oh my God, give me 15 more of it at once. It's just an easy breezy contemporary thing. One of the things that I personally don't enjoy in Emily Henry books is exactly why a lot of people like her. And that is the fact that I don't feel like when something big happens, it feels big. It actually kind of feels a little bit small when the big fight happens, when shit hits the fan, when all of that fun stuff goes on. I don't feel that it's big. I feel like it's kind of mid. It doesn't give me the big, oh my God, it's happening feeling. It gives me oh, okay, I feel like you guys had this conversation 15 times before, but I'm just hearing it for the first time. I did enjoy the book way more than I enjoyed the movie, but I'm not going to up the book because of that. I did originally give the book 3 stars. I am going to keep it at 3 stars, even though the movie made the book way better, in my humble opinion, but that's my humble opinion. I did, after I read People We Meet on Vacation, feel like I kind of want to read the books from the series that I'm going to watch. And the next one that was kind of on my radar was Heated Rivalry, the HBO Max series that everybody talks about. Do you like hockey? And I decided that I was going to start at the beginning. So I was going to start with Game Changers, which is the name of the book series. This one is about Kip and, oh my God, what is his name? Is it Scott? Sean? The hockey player. Kip works at a smoothie shop, and then you have the other one who is the hockey player. I have to say, this one is insta love. Insta, oh my God, please move in with me and have 15 of my kids. Love, I don't like insta love. Another thing that I'm not really that fond of is books written in third person. In my mind, when I pick up a book that is written in third person, it can be read to me. I can read it in 2 different ways. I can read it as if the person is telling the story to me, like the person I'm reading about is telling me the story, or I feel like I'm reading it through a narrator's eyes. And I don't like it when I feel like I'm reading it through a narrator's eyes. And that's sadly what I felt like with this one, so I ended up DNFing it. They're great books, do not get me wrong. These are just 2 elements that I personally do not like in books. And because I could feel the slump kind of just sliding in on the side, I didn't feel like I was giving the book a fair chance because there were two elements, like I said, I am not a fan of, and I didn't feel like it was for me. I did also start Heated Rivalry, which I did enjoy way more the start of, but it was the same thing. I didn't really feel the connection that I felt like I usually do. Now, Heated Rivalry, the book, is a soft DNF for me. It's not a full-on DNF because I do think I am going to enjoy the story, but I might have to enjoy the story at a different time. I'm not into the third person narrator thingy. I think I will enjoy the book way more when I finish the series and I kind of know what's going to happen. I know what's in store, but I get the extra tidbits from the book. But I don't think right here, right now is the correct time for me to read it. So that's that. Then I decided that maybe it's just me. Like maybe I'm just reading the wrong genre because I usually read like a good sports romance. So I went straight into Diabound. I enjoyed this series. Well, I had an okay time with it. I didn't have a splendid time with it. This one is about Mirren Cooper. Mirren learns to street fight early on in the book. She knows how to street fight basically when you start reading the book, and she is determined to help people stay safe because kids keep on getting stolen from her village and they don't know what's happening to them because none of them have ever been found. She tries helping to protect the kids, but her sister still gets kidnapped and she decides to join basically the military to end up on the front line so she can go and save her sister. Once in a blue moon, the wolves decide that it's time to find new writers to join the Bounded. Naturally, this is this year, obviously, because we're following someone. So why wouldn't it be a normal year, you know? This has been compared to two different very popular franchises, and you can feel it pretty early on which franchises this is. She decides that she's going to save her sister, put herself in a dangerous situation to save her sister. There is wolves that you are bonded to. Now, once again in this one as well, I didn't really feel myself rooting for any of the side characters, but I didn't really feel myself rooting for the main character either. I found myself being pissed off at her most of the time, to be honest with you. I didn't really understand it. I tried telling myself that she's young and that's kind of what it is, and her mind is very focused on saving her sister, so she's very one-track minded, but it didn't really help because she still made decisions that didn't have anything to do with her sister, but then I felt like she was blaming it on trying to save her sister. I didn't really buy it, but that's me. It might also be my slump. Who the fuck knows? The ending, something happened at the ending though that really, really, really made me want to read the next one. So I am going to keep on reading the series, hoping that the series do get better. But because of the things that got revealed at the end, which you kind of, you know through the book. You know. I don't understand how this is going to be like a full-on long series, but I am not a writer, so I don't know anything. Okay? Nothing at all. I know nothing at all. But I ended up giving it 3 stars, which isn't a bad rating. Like I said, I had a good time with it, but not a splendid time with it. Do I wish that it made me giggle, kick my feet, jumping for joy when I got time to read? Yes. Sadly, it didn't. But it's okay. Not every book can do that to you. So I am going to keep on reading it. I'm just not jumping for joy at it as of right now. I might feel differently when it comes out. I might also just have FOMO. Who knows? Then when I was done with Diabound, I still had that feeling of everything sucks. Now, I've mentioned it before. I'm probably going to mention it again. Don't really talk that often about it. And if I do talk about it briefly, but I do have anxiety and depression. And sadly now, depression is hitting a little bit harder than I wish it would. Also affects me and what I'm reading, naturally. A lot of people wonder, well, not a lot of people, some people wonder why I only read like funny, goofy, silly, smutty romance books. But it's because reading emotional reads usually affects me way harder than it would affect a lot of other people. So I kind of have to know that I am emotionally ready to take the information in, if that makes sense. So when I was done with Diabound, I decided that I was going to go on reading Chasing the Wild. I think that's what it's called. This is my ex-boyfriend's dad. She ends up, you'll figure out how, living at her ex-boyfriend's ranch, her ex-boyfriend's dad's ranch, working there to get credit so she can finish school. All fine and dandy. The thing is that I didn't really get sucked into the story. I didn't. I did decide to soft DNF that one. I can't really explain it. I think it's a book that I would enjoy. I just couldn't really get into it, and I don't know if the story just was a little bit too slow for what my brain needed, or if I was correct that I didn't really feel like that much was happening. And I mean, by the time I decided to soft DNF it, they had started to get at it in the shower. I just didn't feel the build up. I didn't feel the yearning. I mean, there were yearning, but it wasn't yearning. It was just, I don't know. It was lust, not yearning, which is two different things in my brain. So I decided to soft DNF it and try it again later, because that's what made the most sense in my head, in my pretty little head. Then I didn't know what to do with myself because, you know, I've read some books, I've DNF'd some books, well, soft DNF'd some other books. I didn't really know where I was going with this. One person that can always make me smile is Lynn Painter. So I decided to just pick up Fake Skating, which is her new young adult romance. I feel all of her books, you meet teenagers that in some way, shape or form have known each other mostly for their entire life. They have connections that go way back. This one isn't any different. This one isn't any different. You have Danny and you have Alec. Danny vacations where Alec lives every summer for a month, visiting her grandparents with her mother. Something happens, she stops visiting. When this happens, something also happens with Danny and Alec, and they stop talking. You don't really know what, but you know that they both have different point of views on why this happened that you kind of figure out as the story progresses. The start of the story, I felt like I was just reading maybe one of her other books again, but with different names. I felt like what they were doing were kind of the same. Then the second half of the book, I got really into it. I was rooting for them. I wanted them to be happy. I wanted them to resolve everything. I wanted Danny's mom to be happy. I was super excited to kind of keep on reading that she was getting back to it after the divorce, everything. I ended up really, really enjoying this book. It is a book about finding yourself, about starting again, which is kind of weird because it's a young adult book, but you kind of get to see her mom come back into her element. You get to see Danny learn stuff about her mom that she didn't really know. You got to see Danny learn stuff about her dad that she didn't really know. You got to see Alec grow and work for something that he really wanted and how the pressure almost broke him. There's so many elements in this book smashed into a young adult book. It's fantastic. I gave it a 3.75. Highly recommend reading it if you do enjoy young adult books. But if you don't enjoy young adult books, I wouldn't recommend reading a young adult book because that'd be stupid of me. We ended off the month with reading a psychological thriller. This is my first book by Alice Feeney, and it is My Husband's Wife. Hear me out. It took me a while to read it. I think actually it took me like a week to read it. To start out with, I was very confused. Then I wasn't confused anymore. I didn't solve it, not in any way, shape or form, but it felt like it was a little bit long for me. It felt like there was so much happening, but at the same time, nothing happening at all. When you got towards the end and everything was kind of getting tangled together, that tangling, probably intentional, it's probably normal in psychological thrillers, but it kind of made me feel like it was a little bit rushed. And to be fair, when you got to the reveal at the end, I don't think I could, under any circumstances, figure this out on my own. I'm not that smart. I felt like a lot of the things that you got to know at the end, when you got to figure out when, who, and why. Did I say the name of the book? I've probably put it on the screen. It's My Husband's Wife. When you got to the end and you finally got to figure out when, who, and why, I felt like there were elements here of stuff. I was like, how was I supposed to pick up on that? How was I supposed to know who did what and why? I mean, you can pick up on some of it. Some of it is kind of obvious in a weird way, but the main thing is I can't really explain it without spoiling it, but I don't think I could full on solve this riddle by myself if she didn't tell me who, when, what, and why. To be fair, to be completely fair with you, I am not the sharpest spoon in the bunch, okay? So that might just be a me thing. It might just be a me thing. I mean, it was fun, but once again, it wasn't one of those books when the evening came and you know, dinner was done and everything was done and I could sit down and I could read for a little bit. It wasn't one of the books that I was kind of just jumping for joy to being able to read. You know what I mean? It was fun. I enjoyed it, but it took me a while to read it because it didn't really, when I put it down, I didn't really feel the urge to pick it back up. But when I read it, I had a good time, but I'm kind of missing the feeling of sitting down and really wanting to pick up a book and really wanting to read it, if you know what I mean. Being like, okay, when dinner is done, everything is done, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to read my book and I'm going to enjoy it and I'm going to get immersed in this world and I'm going to do everything and everything is just fine and dandy. I didn't get that feeling from this book and I wish I did because it is a psychological thriller, so it's supposed to kind of drag you in, but I didn't. I ended up giving it 3 stars. I had, like I said, this one as well, I had a good time, but not a splendid time. It was fun. If you like psychological thrillers, I do think you will enjoy this one. I did enjoy a lot of the characters that you met through it. I really enjoyed Sunday. Sunday was my favorite character through the entire book. So I would recommend reading it just so you can meet Sunday. Basically, that is the books that I've read, DNF'd and soft DNF'd in the month of January. Let's cross our fingers and our toes and, I don't know, our hairs for a better reading month in February. Not that this is a bad amount of books. Do not get me wrong in any way, shape or form. Reading even half a book is fantastic. Proud of you. But this isn't how I usually read. This isn't what's up to how I usually have it. So that's why I'm saying it. Also, I kind of just want to jump for joy for a book again. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy it. I want to have the feeling, you know, I want to have the, okay, dinner's done. Everything is done. I can sit down. I can read my book and you guys can just shut up because I'm trying to read. I want that feeling again. Hopefully, February is the month where it's happening. It's also my birthday month, so that's interesting. But yeah, thank you guys so much for spending some of your precious time with me. I really do appreciate it. What was your favorite book that you read in January? If you want to put that in the comment section so that, you know, we can rave about it if I read it, or I can put it on my TBR if I haven't. And what is a book you are looking forward to reading in the next few weeks? Tell me so we can have a little chat, and hopefully I will get to see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.